Rain blurred everything: faces, flowers, the empty coffin that bore my name. I stood behind a line of black umbrellas, my collar soaked, my heart hollow. "Elias Ward," the priest said. "A man taken too soon." I almost laughed. Taken too soon? I was right there watching my own funeral. Arya stood closest to the grave. Her black dress clung to her, and her eyes looked like storms that forgot how to stop raining. She clutched my wedding ring, the one I gave her before the world went dark. Noah whispered beside me, "You shouldn't be here." I had to see her, I said quietly. "She'll see you if you keep standing like a ghost," he muttered. "Then let her," I said. "Maybe ghosts deserve one last look," he grabbed my arm. "You're supposed to be dead. You disappear or you'll really die next time." I pulled away. I died the night they betrayed me. Noah's jaw tightened. "You think Damien doesn't have eyes here? One photo, one whisper. You're gone." My voice broke before I could stop it. "She's crying because she thinks I left her." "You did leave her," he said. "It's the only reason she's still alive." The rain thickened, drowning every excuse I had. I looked at her one last time. She bent down, placed a single white rose on the coffin, and whispered something I couldn't hear. Maybe my name, maybe goodbye. My throat burned. If she knew I was still breathing, she'd be dead, Noah interrupted. "You know Damien. He kills problems." "I was never the problem," he sighed. "You became one when you found out the truth." I said nothing. The memory hit me like lightning. Damien's voice in that dark room, Marcus's shadow behind him, the sound of betrayal disguised as friendship. Noah grabbed my shoulder. "We have to go." "I'm not ready." "Elias." His voice softened. "She'll live. That's what matters." I looked at her again, the only light in a storm of lies. "I don't know how to live without her." "Then learn," he said. "Because if you go back now, you'll die for real." He was right. I turned and walked away before my resolve drowned with the rain. 3 years passed like a slow resurrection. Pain had a voice. It whispered every night when I closed my eyes. But so did revenge. I spent those years in the shadows, healing, learning, watching the empire that had burned me rise higher on stolen ashes. Damien Cross, the man the world called visionary, the man who stole my work, my future, and my wife. Tonight, I was ready to breathe again. Noah met me in the small apartment above his garage. "You really think you can walk back into that world?" "I'm not walking," I said. "I'm hunting," he frowned. "You've changed." I had to. The old me died in that fire, he crossed his arms. "And the new you?" "Eli Hart," I said, sliding a forged ID across the table. He stared at it. "Construction consultant. Cross Enterprises." "You're insane." "I'm practical," I said. "They're hiring for a new project." The irony is poetic. "You're going to work for Damien?" "Near him," I said. "Close enough to see his face when his empire crumbles." "And Arya?" he asked quietly. I hesitated. "She's still with him." "Married," he corrected. 2 years now." The word cut like glass. "I read the headline," I said. "It didn't make sense. She wouldn't marry him willingly." "Her father owed Cross millions," Noah said. "The marriage cleared the debt." I clenched my fists. "So he bought her?" "More like caged her." My chest tightened. "Then I'll set her free." Noah slammed his hand on the table. "And what then? You think she'll run back into your arms?" "She buried you, Elias. She moved on." I met his eyes. "You don't move on from the truth. You bury it until it digs itself out." He stared at me for a long moment. "You really plan to burn Damien down?" "Not burn," I said. "Expose. Let the world see the monster he hides behind his empire." "And Marcus?" I paused. "He'll face me last." 2 nights later, I stood in front of Cross Enterprises' mirrored tower. Its reflection cut through the clouds like arrogance made of glass. I straightened my tie, looked at my own ghost in the glass, and whispered, "Elias Ward is dead. Eli Hart lives." The receptionist smiled as I entered. "You're early for your interview." "Punctuality's a habit," I said, forcing a polite grin. She checked her screen. "Mr. Cross will see you shortly. Mr. Cross." The name still tasted bitter. I waited in the lobby, scanning the space. Marble floors, gold accents, photos of Damien shaking hands with world leaders. A shrine built by lies, then a voice. Soft. Familiar. Excuse me, are you waiting for someone? I turned Arya. My pulse stopped. Her hair was shorter, her smile restrained, but her eyes, those eyes, still carried every unspoken word between us. For a moment, I forgot how to breathe. Yes, I managed. I'm here to meet Mr. Cross. She frowned slightly. You look familiar. I forced a calm smile. People say that a lot, she tilted her head. Have we met before? Not in this lifetime, I said quietly. Her phone buzzed. She glanced at the screen, her expression darkening. I have to go. Good luck with your interview, mister? Eli, I said. Eli Hart. She nodded, then turned away. As she walked toward the elevator, I caught sight of her wedding ring, the same finger that once held mine. Noah's voice echoed in my mind. She buried you, but as the elevator doors closed, I whispered to myself, no, she buried a lie, and now, the man she loved, the man she thought she lost, was standing in the house of the devil who took everything. This time, I wasn't here to die. I was here to take everything back. The city didn't recognize me, and that was the point. New name, new face, new ghost. I'd become Eli Hart, a contractor with no past and no attachments. But under that skin, Elias Ward still breathed, angrier, colder, quieter. Noah's voice echoed in my head as I walked into the marble lobby of Cross Enterprises. You're walking into a lion's den. I wasn't walking. I was hunting, the receptionist smiled. Mr. Hart? Mr. Marcus Vale will meet you shortly. Marcus, my oldest friend, my betrayer. He arrived minutes later, confident and polished, the same smirk I once trusted now painted over deceit. Eli Hart, he said, shaking my hand. Damien says you're the best contractor in the city. Only because the good ones died, I replied, watching his expression freeze for half a second. He laughed nervously. Dark humor. I like that. You'd be surprised how close it sits to truth, I said. He led me into the office elevator. You'll be working under Damien directly. Big project. Confidential. You'll like it. I'm sure I will, I said. My tone flat. The elevator opened to the executive floor. Clean, quiet, suffocating. Marcus gestured toward a door of glass and steel. That's his office. But before you meet him, there's someone you should know. My pulse shifted. I already knew who. The door opened, and there she was, Arya Cross. My wife, my ghost, my undoing. Her hair was tied back, her posture sharp, but her eyes, those eyes still carried the ache of our last goodbye. Marcus smiled. Eli, this is Mrs. Cross, the executive liaison for the design division. Mrs. Cross, I almost laughed. The name didn't fit her, it never would. She extended her hand. Welcome to Cross Enterprises. I took it. Her fingers trembled slightly, the touch brief but electric. Do I know you? She asked, her voice hit like a memory. I forced a smile. No, but I've known you all my life. She blinked, uneasy. Strange thing to say. Maybe, I said. But some faces feel familiar even in a crowd, Marcus cut in. Arya will brief you on the renovation project. I'll see you at the board meeting. He left, leaving us in silence that felt heavier than words. She gestured toward the conference table. Please sit. We'll discuss the outline. I sat, pretending to read while watching her every movement. She'd changed, stronger, colder, maybe safer, but her left hand still bore the faint scar where my ring once rested. You're staring, she said, not looking up. Habit, I said. I like understanding what I build before I start. She looked up slowly. And what do you think you're building here, Mr. Hart? Something that's been broken a long time, I said. Her lips parted slightly, but she said nothing. I broke the silence. How long have you worked with Cross? Since the merger, she said. Almost 3 years. 3 years, I repeated softly. That's about how long I've been gone, she frowned. Gone? I smiled faintly. Traveling. New cities. New lives, her eyes searched mine again. You sound like someone who lost something important. I did, I said. But I'm here to find it, she turned away. Be careful, Mr. Hart. This company eats people who come looking for things. Then I guess I'm the right meal, I said. Her phone buzzed. She glanced at it. Damien's name flashed across the screen. Her voice lowered. Excuse me, I nodded. She stepped aside, answering quietly near the window. Damien, yes. I'm with him now. He seems competent. I almost smiled. When she hung up, I asked softly, Your husband? Yes. Her tone was defensive. He sounds controlling. She looked at me sharply. You don't know him? No, I said. But I know his type. She folded her arms. And what type is that? The kind that thinks ownership is love. She stared at me for a long moment. You talk like you've been owned before. I talk like I escaped it, I said. The air thickened between us. She picked up the folder. You'll start tomorrow. My assistant will send details. Of course, I said, standing. But tell me something. Do you believe in second chances? Her expression faltered. Why? Because some people never get them, I said. And others don't deserve them. She didn't answer. I left before the silence could betray me. That night, I met Noah at a rundown diner. You saw her? He asked. She didn't recognize me, I said. But she felt something. I could see it in her eyes. He stirred his coffee. You think she's innocent? I want to, I said. But she's standing next to the man who ordered my death. You don't know that for sure, I glared. I was there, Noah. I heard Damien's voice before the explosion. I know what I saw, he sighed. And Marcus? Still smiling like he didn't sell me out. You sure you're ready for this? I've been ready since the day they buried an empty coffin, he nodded. Just remember, you can't bring her back if she chose to stay. She didn't choose, I said firmly. She was forced, maybe, he said. But maybe she's comfortable now. Power changes people. I looked out the window. Then I'll remind her who she really is. The next morning, Marcus greeted me in the lobby again. Eli, you survived your first meeting with Mrs. Cross? Barely, I said dryly. He laughed. She's different now. Marriage does that? Marriage or money? I asked. He smirked. Both, if you play it right. I studied him. You always did play well. He didn't catch the blade in my tone. Damien's expecting us upstairs. Big day. After you, I said. As we stepped into the elevator, his reflection met mine in the glass. For a moment, I saw us years ago, brothers, dreamers, partners. Then I saw the scar on my wrist where betrayal had burned its mark. Marcus grinned. Nervous? Not anymore, I said quietly. Ghosts don't feel nerves, he frowned. What? Nothing, I said. Let's get started. The doors opened to Damien's office. A man who thought he'd killed me waited inside. I smiled to myself as we walked in. The hunt had officially begun. Working inside Cross Enterprises felt like living inside a cage made of glass, transparent yet suffocating. Everyone wore smiles that didn't reach their eyes. Every handshake hid a knife, and every morning I saw her, Aria Cross, my wife, my ghost. She walked through the office like someone rehearsing being alive. People admired her grace. They didn't notice the cracks beneath her polish. But I did. Good morning, Mr. Hart, she'd say each day. Her tone clipped, polite, distant. Morning? Mrs. Cross, I'd reply, pretending it didn't burn. At night, I'd return to my apartment, peel off my fake name, and drown in silence. Noah called one evening. You sound like a man sinking. I'm fine, I said. Fine, he repeated. That word always means the opposite. She doesn't recognize me, I muttered. But she feels something. I see it, he sighed. Maybe you're chasing a ghost that wants to stay dead. She's not dead, I said quietly. She's buried alive. A week later, I was in Damien Cross's office. The man was power wrapped in charm. Expensive suit, cold smile, voice that could sell sin as virtue. Eli, he said, shaking my hand. You're the man Marcus recommended. I do what needs doing, I said. I like that, he said. People who don't ask questions. I smiled faintly. Questions slow progress, he leaned back. Exactly. The meeting went on about blueprints and deadlines, but halfway through, his phone rang. He answered sharply. Jacob, don't test me. You owe me. Your daughter stays married until I say otherwise. My chest froze. Jacob, Aria's father. Damien continued, unbothered by my presence. Yes, I own your debts, and if you think divorce frees her, think again. Family loyalty has a price. He hung up and looked at me. Sorry about that. Family matters, I forced a nod. We all have them. Inside, I was fire. Outside, I was ice. Later that night, the building emptied. Aria stayed behind, sitting alone in the conference room. her head bowed over papers she wasn't reading. I waited until she stepped onto the balcony, the city lights painting her face in cold gold. "You look like you're suffocating," I said. She turned sharply. "Mr. Hart, you shouldn't sneak up on people." I didn't mean to. I leaned against the railing. "You just look trapped," her eyes flickered. "You don't know what I've lost." "I lost it too," I whispered, letting my words cut through the air. Her breath caught. "What did you say?" "Nothing important," I said quickly, though my pulse betrayed me. She studied my face, searching. "You sound like someone I used to know." "Maybe he wasn't worth knowing," I said, voice steady. She looked away. "Maybe not. Some ghosts don't deserve resurrection." "Maybe they weren't ghosts," I said quietly. "Maybe they were just buried alive by lies." She frowned, her voice trembling. "You talk like you've seen death." "I have," I said. "It changes how you see the living." Her eyes softened for a second. "Do you believe people can change?" "I think pain changes them," I said. "Not always for the better." "Then maybe I'm already lost," she murmured. "You're not," I said. "You just forgot who you were." She turned toward me, her expression unreadable. "You speak like you know me." I know the look of someone pretending they're fine. Her lips parted. "Pretending is easier. Until it kills you," I said. The wind stirred between us, heavy with everything unsaid. She exhaled shakily. "You shouldn't say things like that." "Why not?" "Because words can wake things that should stay asleep." "Maybe it's time they woke up," I said. Her voice softened. "You really are strange, Mr. Hart." "I've been called worse." She gave a faint, sad smile. "Good night." "Good night, Mrs. Cross." She left, but her perfume lingered, a ghost of the life I'd lost. I met Marcus the next day in the cafeteria. He sat across from me, smirking like a man with secrets he didn't earn. "So," he said, "how's working under royalty?" "Royalty?" I asked. He grinned. "Damien's the king. Arya's the queen who doesn't smile." I forced a laugh. "You sound jealous," he leaned in. "I'm smart enough not to touch what belongs to him." "Wise," I said, hiding the venom under my breath. "Loyalty suits you," he raised his cup. "Loyalty pays!" I wanted to slam his head into the table. Instead, I smiled. "You always did know how to pick a winning side." He didn't hear the crack in my tone. That night, I couldn't sleep. I kept hearing her words. Some ghosts don't deserve resurrection. She thought I'd abandoned her. She didn't know I'd been burned alive by the people she trusted. I stared at the ceiling. "What if she's protecting him?" Noah's voice echoed from memory. "Don't assume love, Elias. Sometimes it's survival. I needed proof. I needed truth." The next morning, I arrived early. The hall outside Damien's office was empty. I slipped into the security room. Monitors blinked, silent witnesses to everything. One feed showed Damien's office. Arya stood across from him, head down. He said, "You smile when we're in public." "You understand?" "Yes," she said quietly. "And you remember what's at stake if you don't?" She hesitated. "My father." "Good," he said. "Then keep being the perfect wife." My fists clenched. She turned to leave, her face pale, eyes hollow. I whispered to myself, "She's trapped." That evening, I saw her in the elevator. She looked exhausted. "Long day?" I asked. "Every day is long," she said. "Maybe you should take a break," I said. "Breathe." "I can't," she said, her voice barely a whisper. "Some of us don't have that choice." "Everyone has a choice," I said. "Then why do I feel like I don't?" "Because you're living someone else's lie," I said quietly. She looked at me sharply. "What do you mean?" "Nothing," I said. "Just observation." When the doors opened, she stepped out, but before leaving, she turned back. "You're dangerous, Mr. Hart." "Only to people who hide the truth," I said. She smiled faintly. "Then you'll fit right in here." The doors closed between us. I saw my reflection in the mirror wall, half Eli Hart, half the man she once loved. The lie was working, but beneath it, something real was beginning to breathe again. The day started like any other, quiet lies, polite smiles, and the hum of secrets vibrating through the walls of Cross Enterprises. I was reviewing blueprints when someone said my name. Eli Hart? I turned. The voice didn't belong here. It was from another life. Sophia Vale. She looked nervous, glancing around before stepping closer. We need to talk. I followed her into the stairwell. Her hands shook as she spoke. You're alive. I studied her. Depends who's asking. She exhaled shakily. Marcus told me you died in that fire. Everyone believed it. I almost did, I said. Who ordered it? She looked at me, eyes heavy with guilt. Damien and Marcus. The words hit harder than any bullet. You're sure? I was there when Damien gave the order. Marcus didn't argue. He just nodded. I stared at the concrete wall, trying to breathe. He sold me out. For money, she said quietly. And for a place beside Damien. He called it a promotion. I clenched my fists. He was my brother. I know, she whispered. That's why I came to find you. My voice hardened. Why now? Because I can't live with it anymore, she said. Damien's planning something bigger, laundering through Arya's family company. Your wife's name is being used to clean his crimes. Her words burned through me like acid. You have proof? She reached into her bag, pulling out a small flash drive. Everything. Transfers, offshore accounts, fake contracts, all signed under the Rivers Foundation. I stared at it, my reflection flickering in the metal. He's using her to hide his empire. Sophia nodded. And Marcus helped him set it up. I laughed bitterly. Of course he did. She hesitated. You're going to confront him, aren't you? I don't confront traitors, I said coldly. I bury them. Elias, she said softly, using my real name for the first time. Don't do something you can't undo. It's already done, I said. The day they lit that fire. Later that night, I waited for Marcus in the company parking lot. The city was quiet, wrapped in mist and the hum of neon lights. When his car pulled in, I stepped out of the shadows. He froze when he saw me. Eli? I smiled faintly. You didn't expect ghosts to walk? He blinked, disbelief twisting his face. No, you're dead. I saw the fire. You saw what you were meant to see, I said. You and Damien planned it well. He swallowed. Listen, Save it, I snapped. I trusted you more than anyone. You were there when I signed my first contract. You were at my wedding. And you tried to erase me for a paycheck. He raised his hands defensively. It wasn't like that. Then tell me how it was, I said. Make me believe it. He looked away. Damien said you were going to expose him. He said you'd take me down with you. I had to choose a side. And you chose his, I said. The man who buys loyalty with blood. Marcus's voice broke. I didn't think they'd actually kill you. But you didn't stop them, I said. Silence. Just the sound of distant traffic. Finally, he said, What do you want from me? The truth, I said. Every lie, every deal, every name. And then I want you gone. He laughed bitterly. Gone? You think you can threaten me? I don't threaten, I said. I collect debts, he smirked. You're still the same, always playing hero. No, I said. Heroes die in fires. I'm what comes after. He stepped closer, lowering his voice. You think you can destroy Damien? He owns half the city. Then I'll take the other half, I said. He shook his head. You don't have proof. I pulled the flash drive from my pocket. I do now. His eyes widened. Sophia. She grew a conscience, I said. Something you never had. He sneered. You think she's helping you for free? She's still working for him. You're lying, I said. Check your facts, he snapped. Damien knows you're alive. He's watching you. My stomach tightened. If he knew, I'd be dead already. He smirked. Maybe he's saving it for the right time. I took a step closer. You killed me once, I said. He met my eyes. You should have stayed dead. I smiled coldly. So should you. Before he could react, I grabbed his tie, pulling him close. You took everything from me. Now I'll take everything from you. He struggled. You don't have it in you. Maybe not before, I said. But I learned something in the dark. You can't kill what's already burned. I let him go. He stumbled back, gasping. You think you're untouchable? Damien will bury you again. Let him try, I said. This time I'm bringing the shovel. He glared at me. You're insane. No, I said. I'm focused. He straightened his jacket, trying to recover his arrogance. You'll regret this. Not as much as you will, I said. I turned to leave, but he called after me. What now? You going to expose us? I didn't look back. No. I'm going to watch you destroy each other. Back in my apartment, I plugged the flash drive into my laptop. Files opened. Names, dates, numbers. Damien's empire built on corruption, all under the river's name. My wife's name. My hands trembled as I stared at her signature, digitally forged. She doesn't even know, I whispered. Noah's voice played in my mind. Be careful what you dig up. Sometimes graves hold mirrors. I called Sophia. You sure this is everything? It's more than enough, she said. You could end him with this. I don't want to end him yet, I said. I want him to feel it first. She hesitated. You sound different. I am, I said. I've stopped being afraid. She sighed. Then at least promise you'll be careful. I stopped promising things I can't keep, I said, hanging up. I leaned back, staring at the screen. Damien Cross, Marcus Vale, Aria's name, my death, all connected. The truth wasn't buried. It was bought, sealed, and worn like a ring, perfect, polished, and poisonous, and I was going to break it apart. I watched the world fall apart through a screen. Headlines screamed, the Cross scandal, money laundering, fraud, lies. I didn't smile. Not yet. The game wasn't over, Sophia called. You did it. It's everywhere. It's only the beginning, I said. The media's eating it alive, she continued. Stocks plummeted. Investors are panicking. Good, I said. Let them see what perfection costs. And Damien? Cornered animals bite hardest, I said. He'll panic soon, she paused. Aria's name came up in one report. My stomach tightened. What? She's being called an accomplice. They think she signed the fake contracts. I clenched my jaw. She didn't know. I know, Sophia said gently. But the world doesn't. Then I'll fix it, I said. I started this fire. I'll control the burn. By evening, Cross Enterprises looked like a kingdom under siege. Reporters swarmed the lobby, investors demanded answers, and Damien's smile cracked under the weight of his empire collapsing. I watched from my office window as chaos unfolded. Marcus stormed in. You, this is your fault! I turned. I didn't realize I ran your company. You think this is funny? He shouted. Our stock dropped 40% overnight. Maybe you should have invested in honesty, I said. He slammed his fist on my desk. Damien knows someone leaked the files. He's tearing the place apart trying to find the rat. Then you should be careful, I said quietly. You look guilty. He froze, studying me. What did you do? I smiled. Nothing you wouldn't have, he backed away. You're playing with fire, Eli. I'm used to the heat, I said. Later that night, I was locking up when I heard footsteps behind me. I didn't have to turn to know who it was. Why are you doing this? Aria's voice, sharp, trembling, demanding answers that would break us both. I faced her slowly. Doing what? Don't play innocent, she said. You leaked something. I know it. You sound certain, I said, because Damien's losing everything, and you're the only one who isn't scared. I stepped closer. Maybe I'm just not built to fear liars. Stop, she whispered. Don't talk in riddles. Why are you here, Aria? I asked. To defend him? She shook her head. No, to understand you. There's nothing to understand, I said. The truth has claws. It just took a while to scratch its way out. She stared at me. I saw the files. You're destroying him. He destroyed himself, I said. I just held up the mirror. Her eyes filled with tears. People are saying I'm part of it. You're not, I said firmly. And I'll make sure they know that. She stepped closer. Why are you doing this, really? I told you once, I said. To protect you, she blinked, voice breaking. It's you, isn't it? I stayed silent. She reached for me, trembling. Say something. I don't need to, I said quietly. You already know, her breath caught. Elias. Hearing my name from her lips after years felt like being struck by lightning. I thought you were dead, she whispered. I was, I said. You buried me yourself, tears spilled down her cheeks. How could you let me think that? If I hadn't, Damien would have killed us both, she covered her mouth. I mourned you every day. I know, I said softly. I watched, her eyes widened. You watched? I nodded. From a distance. I saw your grief, your silence. And then I saw you with him. It wasn't by choice, she said, shaking her head. My father owed him everything. Damien said if I didn't marry him, he'd destroy my family. I know, I said. I heard the call, her voice cracked. You were there? I was everywhere you thought I wasn't. She stepped back, tears falling freely. Then why didn't you come for me? Because you were safer without me, I said. Her hands trembled. You think this is safety? Living in his shadow? I think it was survival, I said. You chose to live. I can't hate that. She looked at me, pain and longing tangled in her eyes. So what now? Now I end it, I said. She frowned. End what? His empire, his lies, everything he built on your name, her voice broke. And what happens to me when you do? You'll finally be free. She laughed bitterly through tears. Free? You don't get it. When you destroy him, the world will destroy me with him. Then I'll take the blame, I said. She stared at me, stunned. You'd risk everything again for me? I didn't answer. My silence was enough. She whispered, You still love me. Love, I said slowly, isn't the right word anymore. Then what is? Unfinished, I said. Something that refuses to die. She looked away. He'll find out. He'll kill you. Let him try, I said. He already failed once. Her shoulders shook. You're insane! Maybe. But I'm alive, and that's more than he expected. She stepped closer again. What if I don't want saving? Then I'll stop, I said. But look me in the eye and say you're happy. She opened her mouth, but no words came. Only tears. That's what I thought, I said softly. She whispered, You shouldn't have come back. I didn't come back for revenge, I said. I came back for truth, and when you find it, I'll bury it, I said. Same way you buried me, her voice cracked. I didn't bury you. I buried what was left of me. The silence between us felt alive, heavy with ghosts. Finally, she whispered, What do you want from me? Nothing, I said. I just needed you to remember. She stepped forward, placing a trembling hand on my chest. I never forgot. I closed my eyes, feeling her warmth through the cold that had ruled me for years. Then it wasn't all for nothing. When she pulled away, her voice was small. What happens now? Now, I said, the Empire burns quietly. Her tears shimmered under the dim lights. And when it's gone? Then maybe, I said, we can breathe again. She nodded slowly, as if accepting a truth too heavy to carry. Before leaving, she looked back once more. You always had a way of turning pain into purpose. And you always had a way of surviving it, I said. She gave a broken smile. Goodbye, Elias. Not goodbye, I whispered. Not yet. The door closed behind her, leaving me alone with the echo of her footsteps and the sound of a kingdom collapsing under its own lies. The fire was spreading, and I was done watching from the ashes. I knew the call was coming. Empires don't crumble quietly, they scream. The intercom buzzed. Mr. Hart, Mr. Cross would like to see you. Of course he would. I straightened my tie, glanced at my reflection, and whispered, Time to meet the devil without his mask. The elevator ride felt like judgment. Slow, deliberate, final. When the doors opened, Damien stood by the window, hands clasped behind his back. The skyline glowed behind him, a kingdom built on deceit and glass. He didn't turn as I entered. "So," he said coldly, "the dead walk." I closed the door. Some ghosts return for justice. He finally faced me. His eyes were calm, but his jaw twitched. "You think Arya still loves you?" "I don't need her to," I said. "I just need her free." He laughed, a brittle, arrogant sound. "You think you freed anyone? You've doomed her. The world will eat her alive when it learns she was part of this." "She wasn't," I said sharply. "You forged her name." "I have proof," he smirked. "And you leaked it, didn't you?" I didn't answer. He walked closer, his voice dropping. "You could have had everything, money, power, my trust." "I had those once," I said. "They nearly killed me," he tilted his head. "Then why come back?" "For closure," I said. "And to watch you fall." "Fall?" He sneered. "You think you can destroy me? You're a shadow in a suit." "Maybe," I said, "but shadows always grow when the light fades." His smirk faltered. "Tell me," I said quietly, "was it worth it? Burning me alive for a few more years on the throne?" He met my eyes. "You were a threat, and threats get erased. You can't erase what remembers," I said. "And I remember everything," he chuckled. "You talk like you've already won," I smiled. "That's because I have," he frowned. "What did you do?" "You'll find out soon enough." Right on cue, the phone on his desk began to ring. He ignored it. Then another line rang. Then his cell. He answered one, voice sharp. "What?" "No, that's impossible." His expression shifted. Shock, then rage. "Freeze the accounts." "Do it now." I watched quietly. "Problem?" He slammed the phone down. "You leaked the secondary files too." I said nothing. He stormed to the computer, typing furiously. The color drained from his face. "Everything's gone. The accounts, the holdings, everything." "Funny," I said. "I thought empires built on lies were indestructible." He turned, furious. "You ruined me!" "No," I said. "You ruined yourself." He lunged forward, grabbing my collar. "You don't get to talk to me like that." I didn't move. "You don't get to talk to anyone from behind bars." He froze. "What did you do?" I nodded toward the window. Below us, police lights painted the street in blue and red. He stepped back. "No, your allies flipped," I said. "Marcus was the first. He signed everything you needed to burn." "Marcus?" he whispered. "He traded your name for his freedom," I said. "But it's too late for both of you," his voice cracked. "You think they'll believe you? You're nobody, then why are they here for you?" I said. He rushed to the window, staring down at the chaos. "I can still run." "You could try," I said. "But you won't get far." He spun around. "You think this makes you righteous? You destroyed me." "You destroyed yourself the day you killed me," I said. "This is just the echo." He stared at me, chest heaving. "You think Arya will forgive you when she learns what you did?" "I'm not looking for forgiveness," I said. "Just balance." He stepped closer, voice trembling. "I'll rebuild." "Not this time," I said. "The world finally sees the cracks." He laughed bitterly. "And what about you, Elias? You think walking out of here makes you clean? You're just as broken as I am." "Maybe," I said. "But at least I know it." For a moment, neither of us spoke. Only the faint wail of sirens rising from below. He looked out again. "They're coming up. I told you," I said. "Some debts can't be bought off." He turned suddenly, panic seizing him. "I won't be taken." He ran toward the door. I blocked his path. "Move!" He shouted. "No!" He shoved me, but I held firm. "You're not leaving this building," I said. "Not as the man you were." He glared at me. "You want revenge?" "I want the truth," I said. "And I already have it." He grabbed a paperweight from his desk, hurling it at the wall. "You ruined everything!" I stepped closer. "No, Damien. You built everything on ruin." The pounding of boots echoed in the hallway. Police, closing in. He spun toward the back door leading to the rooftop. "I'll end this my way." I followed him up the narrow stairwell. The city air hit like fire as the rooftop door burst open. Wind roared around us. Helicopter blades thundered overhead, his escape plan. He sprinted toward the helipad. I caught up and grabbed his arm. "Let go," he shouted. "Running won't save you." "You don't get it," he spat. "People like me don't fall. We land somewhere else." "Not this time," I said. He swung at me. I dodged, shoving him back. "You can fight me, Damien, but you can't fight the truth. You self-righteous." He lunged again, but his foot slipped on the rain-slick surface. He caught the railing, hanging on. I reached for him. Take my hand." He looked up, eyes wild. "Why would you save me?" "Because I'm not you." For a second, he almost grabbed me. Then he let go. I stared as he landed hard, sirens screaming below. The helicopter hovered briefly, then pulled away. Officers flooded the rooftop, shouting orders. One recognized me as Eli Hart and nodded. "He's alive," someone said. I looked down at Damien, still moving, cuffed, dragged away in silence. He looked up at me once, face pale, pride broken. "You ruined me," he shouted again. "No," I said quietly. "You ruined yourself." The sirens swallowed his voice as they led him away. By the time I reached the street, the air smelled of smoke and victory. Reporters shouted questions, flashes blinding me. Sophia found me near the exit. "It's over," she said. "Nothing's ever over," I said. "But justice doesn't need an encore. What will you do now?" she asked. I looked up at the tower. Cross Enterprises, now hollow. "Start rebuilding," I said. This time without blood, she smiled faintly. "And Arya?" "She's free now," I said. That's all that ever mattered. The night was quiet again. The Empire gone. I walked away from the ruins, my shadow long against the fading lights. Revenge wasn't satisfaction. It was silence. And in that silence, I finally felt alive. Weeks passed after Damien's arrest, but the silence that followed felt heavier than any noise. The city moved on. The headlines faded. The Empire was gone. I spent my days in a small studio overlooking the river, sketching, rebuilding, breathing again. The war was over, but peace felt strange, like wearing clothes that didn't belong to me. One evening, the door creaked open. "Arya," I said quietly. She stepped in slowly, dressed in white. For the first time, she didn't look haunted, just tired. "I wanted to thank you." "For what?" I asked. "For destroying your husband or saving your freedom?" She smiled faintly. "For reminding me who I was." I nodded, saying nothing. She walked around the room, fingers grazing the sketches pinned to the walls. "You're still building." "It's what I do," I said. "Destruction only lasts so long. Creation fills the silence," she turned to me. "I didn't think I'd see you again." "I wasn't sure I wanted to," I said. "Why?" "Because goodbyes hurt less when they're unfinished," I said. "Closure ruins illusions." She sat across from me. "You're still poetic, and you're still avoiding questions." She laughed softly. "Maybe some things never change." "Everything changes," I said. "Even love." Her eyes softened. "You don't mean that." "I do," I said. "Love isn't what it was. It's quieter now. Softer. Less of a fire, more of an echo." She looked down. "Then maybe we burned too long. Maybe we never stopped." Silence settled between us. The ticking of the clock filled the space where we once would have said everything. She broke it first.
"Do you still hate me?"
I exhaled slowly. "I stopped hating you the day I stopped needing your forgiveness." Tears welled in her eyes. "I don't deserve that." "No one does," I said gently. "That's what makes it real," she whispered. "I thought you'd never forgive me." "I didn't," I said. "I forgave myself," she nodded, her voice trembling. "You saved me, Elias." "No," I said. "I just stopped letting others write my story." She smiled through tears. "Then I guess you wrote mine too." "I didn't," I said softly. "You just forgot how to hold the pen." Her gaze dropped to her hands. "Everything feels empty now. No more power, no more control. Just quiet." "Quiet isn't emptiness," I said. "It's peace," she sighed. "Peace feels heavy." "It always does at first." She looked up again. "What happens now?" "Now?" I said. "You start over. Not as a wife or an heir, but as yourself. And you?" "I'll keep building," I said. "It's what I understand best." She glanced at the half-finished sketch on my desk. "What's this one called?" "Rebirth." She traced the edge of the paper. "It's beautiful." "It's unfinished," I said. "Like us?" Her lips trembled. "You're cruel with honesty." "I learned it from you," I said. She smiled faintly. "Then maybe I taught you something good." I tilted my head. "You taught me how to lose without breaking." She blinked back tears. "And what did I lose?" "Yourself," I said softly. "But you found her again." She shook her head. "I'm not sure I recognize her." "You will," I said. "One day." The sun dipped low through the windows, painting the room in gold. She looked ethereal. like the ghost of everything I'd once loved and everything I'd finally released. "Do you regret any of it?" she asked. "All of it," I said. "And none of it," she smiled sadly. "You can't have both." "I can," I said. "Because both made me who I am." She stood slowly, walking toward the window. "It's strange. When I married him, I thought I was saving my family. But all I did was trade one cage for another." "You broke it," I said. "That's what matters." "I broke you first," I smiled faintly. "You didn't break me. You rebuilt me differently," she turned, her voice trembling. "You should hate me." "I did," I said. "It passed, just like that?" "Not just like that," I said. "It took years, fire, loss, time. But yes, eventually, hate burns itself out." She stared at me. "And love?" "Love changes form," I said. "It becomes something quieter, something that doesn't ask for anything back." Tears spilled down her cheeks. "Then I guess I'll spend my life loving you that way." "Don't," I said. "Love yourself that way instead." She smiled through her tears. "You always did know how to end things beautifully." "Not end," I said. "Transform." She stepped closer, her voice barely above a whisper. "If things had been different, they weren't," I said. "And that's what makes this real." She nodded. "You've changed. So have you." Her hand brushed my cheek, soft, hesitant. "You feel colder." "I learned warmth isn't free." She dropped her hand, tears shining in the fading light. "Then I guess this really is goodbye." "Yes," I said quietly. "But not a sad one." She tilted her head. "You don't sound sure." "I'm sure," I said. "Because this time I'm not losing anything." She smiled, fragile but free. "Goodbye, Elias." "Goodbye, Arya." She turned to leave, pausing at the door. "You'll build something better this time." "I already have," I said. She hesitated. "And what's that?" "Peace." Her eyes softened. "You found it." "I didn't find it," I said. "I built it." She nodded, then walked out quietly, her footsteps fading down the hall like a memory finally leaving my chest. When the door closed, I sat in silence, staring at the half-finished sketch on my desk. Outside, the city lights began to glow, each one a reminder that even after ruin, something still shines. For years, I thought revenge would heal me. It didn't. For years, I thought forgiveness meant surrender. It wasn't. In truth, peace had nothing to do with her or him, or any of it. Peace was the moment I stopped needing closure. I picked up my pencil and finished the final line of the sketch. And in that quiet studio, for the first time in years, I wasn't haunted, I was whole.